Hello everyone, myself Vaibhav. In our today's session of Market Movers, we will be taking a look on the Euro USD, which is increasingly looking like that this consolidation phase is likely to take the bearish turn, and this correction might deepen towards 1.17 levels. So we will see if there are any emerging trading opportunities for us to exploit in today's session. If you consider the trading context for the day, we didn't really get major data releases for the Asian and the European trading session apart from a couple of minor releases. So we will not go into the details of those. For the North American trading session, just a while back we got these Euro US durable goods orders for the month of July, and after a sharp decline which was seen during the lockdown months of March and April, we are seeing that US economy is getting back on track, and for the month of July there is substantial rise in the durable goods order to 11.2%, which is a lot more than the expectations and even better than the prior month's numbers. And later in the day, we will also be getting the US crude oil inventory data. And if we consider the API numbers, there we saw the drawdown of 4.5 million barrels. And for the EIA crude oil inventory data report, also we are expecting the drawdown in the vicinity of 3.7 million barrels. So let's see how things evolve as we get these crude oil inventory data. And there is also going to be the disruption on account of the hurricanes which are developing in the Gulf of Mexico. On account of that, there is a production disruption in the states of United States, and because of that also the crude oil inventory is likely to be impacted in coming weeks. Now moving on to the technical front, we will cover the Euro USD and then we will move on to the USDJPY. Let's start with the Euro USD's technical outlook first. There is an daily time frame chart for Euro USD, and this consolidation has entered in the third week of these range bound moves in the price band of 1.17 to 1.195. Even in today's session, we are seeing some range bound moves on the both sides. Earlier in the day, we saw sell off from the levels close to 1.183, and now as the US session is getting underway, we are seeing some buying momentum coming back and pushing the Euro USD above 1.18 zone. But on balance, the Euro USD is in consolidation phase, and I think we need to adapt the scalping kind of approach here. And rather than looking for big swing trades, here we will have to mostly be happy with the sharp stop loss and the target levels. There is not much of an indication that we are yet due for a big correction. Of course, that can happen or it might not happen, but for the time being, we are more focused on a day-to-day basis, and there we are seeing some opportunities which might come our way if the anticipation holds well in latter part of today's session. Here, coming to the 4 hourly chart, we have this regression curve which is now pointing southward, and here after finding resistance closer to 1.195 zone, we saw the Euro USD dipping towards 1.175. Of course, for this week, we have seen the Euro USD consolidate between 1.175 to 1.185, and even in today's session, the early hours we saw this selling pressure coming back and pushing the Euro USD lower. But still, even as the day is progressing, we are not really seeing one-sided moves. Rather, the Euro USD has again come back to 1.18 zone, and it is holding well there. So moving forward, I feel that if we don't really see a fresh break above 1.185, there is this possibility of Euro USD again dipping after due consolidation, and because of that we need to be vigilant around these levels. and see if there are any emerging opportunities for us, as I feel that the Euro USD might dip towards 1.17 zone, which is also its prior swing low area, and if there is a fresh break, it might even go on to fall, to decline toward this central pivot point, which is there around 1.162. So coming to the hourly chart, the crucial area of interest for us is going to be this price band, the prior swing high and the prior swing low area of around 1.183 to 1.184. This is the price band which we need to watch out for in the Euro USD. For the time being, the Euro USD is trading close to this confluence of 50 and 100 SMAs, which are there around 1.181, and on the higher side we have this 200 SMA. And I feel unless and until there is a significant move beyond this 200 SMA zone, we can pretty much continue to keep the bias on the bearish side, and continue to look for short selling opportunity anywhere in the vicinity of this prior swing high area, which is there around 1.183. And on the lower side, we can target the price band of around 1.175, while keeping the stop losses in the vicinity of 1.186 to 1.187. So for a risk of around 30 to 40 pips, we can target almost close to 80 pips on the lower side, and with that we will also be getting the risk reward ratio of 1:2. So conservatively speaking also, it will fulfill our requirements. Now moving on to the USDJPY's technical outlook. The USDJPY has shown good promising moves around lower levels, and as we had discussed in yesterday's session, it increasingly looks poised for the 107 zone. Even in today's session, it has found support closer to 106, and for the time being it is holding well. So we will see if in today's session there are any emerging fresh opportunities for us to look forward to profit if our anticipation holds well, and if the USDJPY eventually goes towards 107 zone. Here, coming to the larger time frame, the Fibonacci expansion 100% zone has hold well, and we saw this sharp reversal, and now for the time being the Fibonacci expansion around 61.8 is the nearest price zone, and as is evident from the chart, here we had this prior consolidation phase in which the price action was well supported around the 61.8% Fibonacci expansion, and now here we are again seeing the USDJPY is trying to close above this level in the daily time frame. So coming to the 4-hourly chart, we have this crucial marker around this central pivot point of this month's pivot point series around 106, and as is the price action, I feel that unless and until we see a clear break and the price momentum sustaining below this central pivot point, there is this possibility of USDJPY continuing to rise after this consolidation in the vicinity of the central pivot point. And as is the case with the regression curve, we have this regression curve which is also pointing northward. It is suggestive of the fact that most of the traders, or many of the traders, are expecting the USDJPY to rally forward after consolidating closer to these low levels. So keeping that in mind, we will mostly need to rely on the lower time frame chart, in which this price band around 106 is emerging as an good price zone to target for fresh opportunities, fresh entries. And we have this support zone formed because of the confluence of 200 and 100 SMA, as well as we have on the higher side the 50 SMA. Along with that, we also have this lower band of this upward moving price trend line, in which we can continue to hope, we can anticipate that it will be providing some support closer to this 106 zone. Right now the USDJPY is getting close to 106.20. So in latter part of today's session, see how things shape up. If we don't really see a break below this 200 SMA zone, then I think pretty much we can look forward to getting involved for a long trade. And as was the target for yesterday's session, that price zone around 107 would also be the target for today's session. And on the lower side, the stop loss anywhere close to 105.6 should hold well, as it is the level below prior swing low. So unless and until there is a clear break below prior swing low, I would be fairly optimistic about the chances of USDJPY continuing to march higher towards 107 zone. So that's it from my side for today's trading session. If any of you have any query or any idea to share, you can write it in the comment section and I would be more than happy to take the discussion forward. Before I sign off, I would also like to remind of the risk associated with trading in the financial instrument, and one should be careful while using the information provided. Have a fabulous day ahead. See you tomorrow. Goodbye.